Hey, Zack. No, nothing. Just felt like saying that.
What's the buzz, Mr. FB?
Did you notice it yet? The streets in New Orleans were a mess. All busted up and undergoing maintenance. The city was built on a swamp, so the ground is soft. All it takes is some heavy rain to cave it all in. There were also a lot of places where large tree roots were pushing up parts of the asphalt and the sidewalk. Those bumps were dangerous even when we still had our car, remember? But this town is different. The streets are all paved so cleanly that we can skate along them without a care in the world. And there's hardly any trash or graffiti to be found anywhere. The Clarksons truly do control this place, for better or worse. It's a good example of how allowing certain people to rise to power can have positive effects as well. Also, don't you find that Southern people are remarkably friendly, even to total strangers? Both here and in New Orleans, I've been amazed at how cordial everyone is. Is it just the way things are down here? You certainly don't see that sort of thing in New York or D.C. They never stop to chit-chat, especially when ordering food. They only say what's necessary, without any decoration. The customer only makes eye contact with the waiter about once every 3 times they interact. But that's just how it is. Isn't that right, Zack? The human relationships here are as fluid as an inorganic mechanism running on the smoothest, purest oil there is. And it feels strangely comfortable. After spending time in New Orleans and coming here, I think I'm starting to like the Southern disposition. They even have their own breed of bizarre crimes. And besides, the New Orleans area is famous for its paranormal culture. I'm sure it'll entertain us somehow. It's still a bit of a ways off, but Perhaps we can also do a little case study for our post-retirement plan. What, you still think it's too early for that? I wouldn't say so. It's never too early to be prepared. Come on, I know you're with me on this one, Zack. Hey, Zack. No, nothing. Just felt like saying that. This is the Deep South. I feel it every time that molten hot sun pours down on me. Don't you, Zack? Hey, Zack, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the Sang Rouge distribution route led us right to Louisiana. You know what that means. We've got a hot hand. And Lady Luck's given us far more favor than she ever has before. We just happened to hear news about Lisa's murder while sitting in a bar during our vacation in New Orleans. That certainly wouldn't have happened if we had stayed in D.C. They would have given the case to another special agent, or maybe even to the state, and then we never would have found it. In the end, it would have been shut up in that vast, desolate evidence vault along with all the other cases, marked by nothing but a first-degree murder tag, buried in a soggy grave at the bottom of a sea of data. That would have been its fate. Instead, it traveled from person to person until it finally fell right into our lap. Things always work out that way for us. We've traveled all over the United States trying to track down Sang Rouge. We can't let this chance pass us by, can we, Zack? We need to find some sort of clue before this southern sun melts it all away. If this town has a symbol, it's got to be that bridge hanging over the bayou. Lift bridges are truly a rarity.
You aren't free anymore. You can't get away from me. Never get away. You just slice it all up.
Very good, please. Serving you is my... Please do let me know if...
How's the investigation coming? Must be going well if you're on the case.
Sure is some... sure is some sun out. Boss, please. But if you're ever see to...
Hey, Zack, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the San Rouge distribution route led us right to Louisiana. You know what that means. We've got a hot hand. And Lady Luck's given us far more favor than she ever has before. We just happened to hear news about Lisa's murder while sitting in a bar during our vacation in New Orleans. That certainly wouldn't have happened if we had stayed in D.C. They would have given the case to another special agent, or maybe even to the state, and then we never would have found it. In the end, it would have been shut up in that vast, desolate evidence vault along with all the other. Hey, Zack. No, nothing. Just felt like saying that.
Smarty pants, what you want?
Hey, want to talk about bridges? Why? I've become obsessed with bridges, Zack, and there's no turning back now. Remember what we saw on our way here? Back when we were driving that hybrid car before we switched over to the skateboard. We passed over the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, the longest bridge over water in the entire world. Remember the sudden downpour that made it impossible for us to see the road? The rain was so torrential that we couldn't see more than a few miles ahead of us. I'm sure local drivers are used to that sort of thing. They were all going normal speeds. I'll bet that scene reminded you of a certain film, or perhaps a certain person. Violent City, 1970, directed by Sergio Salima. I only ever saw it on TV when I was a kid, so I don't remember it very well. But I definitely remember that it featured a bridge, a long bridge. During the New Orleans part, that's the one thing I remember. That bridge must have been the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, and the film starred Charles Bronson. Charles Bronson. Charles Bronson. What an amazing sound. You couldn't possibly find another man whose name matches his appearance so perfectly. Yes, of course I know that Charles Bronson isn't his real name. Charles Dennis Buczynski. That's his real name, but he's Bronson. Period. Zach, what's your favorite Bronson film? Death Wish? The Magnificent Seven? Rider on the Rain? Or Farewell Friend? They're all masterpieces, but to me, his greatest work lies elsewhere. That's it, Zack. No wonder we get along so well. I don't care what anyone else says. His greatest film by far is 10 to Midnight, 1983, directed by J. Lee Thompson. There's no realism to be found in this movie, but that's what makes it so great. One might even call it a fantasy masterpiece. It was certainly filled with unprecedented fantasy compared to other police thrillers, that's for sure. You know, Zack, I'm suddenly getting the urge to watch it again. Let's hurry up and solve this case so that we can go rent the DVD.
Now that's what I'm talking about. You can't get, so make sure you... Thanks, mister. Next time you get a hankering for old-time Creole food, just stop on by. And as you can. So. Thanks. Let me.
You disgusting. You disgusting.
Very good, sir. Please. Serving you is my greatest pleasure, sir. Please do let... Thanks, mister. Next time.
noticing it? The streets in New Orleans were a mess, all busted up and undergoing maintenance. The city was built on a swamp, so the ground is soft. All it takes is some heavy rain to cave it all in. There were also a lot of places where large tree roots were pushing up parts of the asphalt and the sidewalk. Those bumps were dangerous even when we still had our car, remember? But this town is different. The streets are all paved so cleanly that we can skate along them without a care in the world, and there's hardly any trash or graffiti to be found anywhere. One lollipop? 2 lollipops? 3 lollipops? Don't mind me, Zack. This is how I wake myself up. So, what do you think of him? Yes, I'm talking about him. Boondock. Is the skeletal gentleman friend or foe? Or does he merely exist outside the realms of either? Still too early to tell. But it's clear that he'll be the key to uncovering this. Hey, Zack, it looks like we were right on the money. Tracing the San Rouge distribution route led us right to Louisiana. If this town has a symbol, it's got to be that bridge hanging over the bayou. Lift bridges are truly a rarity. Reminds me of Duluth, Minnesota. Remember what happened there? That man went to such great lengths to collect his victims' tongues. You know, the one who would French kiss them every day as they slowly decompose. As I drove him to the station after his arrest,
And that's what I'm talking. You can't get, so make sure you in. Thanks, mister. Next time you get a...
One lollipop? 2 lollipops? 3 lollipops? Don't mind me, Zack. This is how I wake myself up. This town sure is peaceful, Zack. Yes, I know. I know what you're about to say. But that's why we're here. To protect this peace. Isn't that right, Zack? So, what do you think of him? Yes, I'm talking about him. Hey, want to talk about bridges? Why? I've become obsessed with bridges, Zack, and there's no turning back now. Remember what we saw on our way here? Back when we were driving that hybrid car before we switched over to the skateboard. We passed over the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, the longest bridge over water in the entire world. Remember the sudden downpour that made it impossible for us to see the road? The rain was so torrential that we couldn't see more than a few miles ahead of us. I'm sure local drivers are used to that sort of thing. They were all going normal speeds. I'll bet that scene reminded you of a certain film, or perhaps a certain person. Violent City, 1970, directed by Sergio Solima. I only ever saw it on TV when I was a kid, so I don't remember it very well. But I definitely remember that it featured a bridge, a long bridge. During the New Orleans part, that's the one thing I remember. That bridge must have been the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway. And the film starred Charles Bronson. Charles Bronson. What an amazing sound. You couldn't possibly find another man whose name matches his appearance so perfectly. Yes, of course I know that Charles Bronson isn't his real name. Charles Dennis Buczynski. That's his real name, but he's Bronson. Period. Zack, what's your favorite Bronson film? Death Wish? The Magnificent Seven? Rider on the Rain? Or Farewell Friend? They're all masterpieces, but to me, his greatest work.
The air. Oh, coming right.
Alexis, would you mind keeping the red beans in the can? I'll pay the regular price, of course.
Oh, my Lord. Why don't you want me to take them out of the can?
They're for an offering, you see.
Oh, why didn't you say so? The Lord hungers.
Exactly. As you can see, I'm a pitiful lost lamb. Now I get it, Zack. This is nothing but a shameless fetch quest. Zack, we finally managed to assemble the Taboo Trinity. And it was certainly no small. I just hope it rewards us with some data that will help us push this investigation forward. Zack, you're a coffee person, right? No sugar, only milk. Yes, I'm completely with you on that one. Okay, Pastor. I've brought you your taboo trinity. I'd like to exchange it for a ticket to the goddess.
Oh, how I pity you. You see, my dear lost lamb, our Lord still hungers. One anaconda skin, one squirrel tail, and one pressed white guara. This is what you must bring next.
Are you kidding me?
How pitiful.
I told you this was gonna be a pain in the butt. Come on, we need to get going.
Part of me
One anna and one pressed white guara. For it is
The thing is,
one anaconda skin, one squirrel tail, and one pressed white guara. Make no mistake, my lord. Oh, how.
I pity us too, Zack. This is pointless. We have no...
One and one, for it is
The thing is, I only...
one anaconda. Make no mistake. Oh.
I pity us too, Zack. This is pointless. We have no choice but to obey God's word whether we like it or not. You know, Patty, I just remembered something. When we met Philip in the sheriff's office, he mentioned your mother. What sort of history does Melvin have with the Clarksons?
What do you mean? The Clarksons know everyone in town, and everyone in town knows the Clarksons. This is Lucare. That's all there is to it.
Zack, something isn't right here. I just hope the Clarksons don't have anything to do with her mother's illness. That's all I'm concerned about. Either way, the truth will reveal itself to us eventually. Just like it always has. 2 lollipops, 3 lollipops. And freshly. Now let's get a move. What do you think God wants with some? It's a beautiful day, Patty.
Really? Seems kinda normal to me.
Now that you mention it, yes, it is a normal day. I just... What else have you seen on that sci-fi movie channel?
Agent York, why are you asking me that?
Discussing movies is one of the most basic forms of communication in our country.
What time period do you live in?
It's always been that way in every era. In this country, all dialogues always begin from films.
Ugh. Says who? You're making me sick.
Sick?
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna puke.
I know just what you need to do, Patty.
What?
Tell me what other movies you've seen on that sci-fi channel.
Ugh. You're so annoying. Fine, fine. I saw this one movie where a pretty lady and an old guy fight, and they were both robots.
Ah, Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. 2003, directed by Jonathan Mostow. I knew you were an Arnold S. fan.
Oh, you said it again. Oh, whatever. I'm not a fan of his or anything, okay? He just happened to be in it.
So, what did you think?
I knew of the name Terminator, but it was my first time seeing one of those movies.
What? You've never seen Terminator?
Well, the first two came out before I was even born.
I know, but come on. It's Terminator.
Boys probably like it, but I'm sure most girls don't give two craps about it. Oh, but I know it was directed by the same person who did...
Hey, Zack. Remember 1997, directed by Luis Loza, Anaconda. The movie where the famous John Voight goes crazy with a rifle. Jennifer Lopez, Eric Stoltz, even Owen Wilson and Ice Cube were in it. Is that an all-star cast or what? The scene in the beginning where Danny Trejo climbs up a ladder with a pistol in one hand is a must-see. It stole my heart within the first 5 minutes. Okay, back to the real world. We're on an important mission right now, aren't we? Patty, what's that?
That tree? Or the water tower?
That thing I'm pointing at. That.
Like I said, what?
That thing. Right there, Patty.
Just tell me what it is. How am I supposed to know which that you're referring to? Oh, you're goofing on me, ain't you?
It really seemed like you knew who Galena Clarkson was. What else have you seen on that sci-fi movie channel?
Agent York, why are you asking me that?
Discussing movies is one of the most basic forms of communication in our country.
What time period do you live in?
It's always been. Zack, how about we grab a bite to eat? About 3 years ago, I met a man who had a pair of anaconda skin shoes. He said they were a trophy from a snake he hunted and skinned all by himself. Could you kill something and then wear its skin? I couldn't. No thanks. I failed to see any difference between that and a crazed murderer who carries pieces of his victims home with him. This town sure is peaceful, Zack. Yes, I know. I know what you're about to say. But that's why we're here. To protect this peace. Isn't that right, Zack? This is the Deep South. I feel it every time that molten hot sun pours down on me. Don't you, Zack? So, what do you think of him? Yes, I'm talking about him. Hunga. Is the skeletal gentleman friend or foe? Or does he merely exist outside the realms of either? Still too early to tell. But it's clear that he'll be the key to uncovering this case's mysteries. That's what my soul tells me. Certain countries consider squirrel tails to be wards against demonic powers. Apparently, the tails quiver whenever evil draws near, so when people go out on journeys, they always carry squirrel tails with them. The fresher the tail, the higher its price. This is the Deep South. I feel it every time that molten hot sun pours down on me. Don't you, Zack?
Okay, hold. You ever need anything?
Okay, Patty. I'm going to try asking you that question again. What do you do when you're at home?
I watch TV and look up stuff on the internet, I guess. Ain't much else to do when you're out in the middle of nowhere.
Really? For some reason, I envisioned you working hard to take care of all the chores around the house.
Well, of course I do stuff like that too. But doesn't everyone? Hi, Agent. Hi, Agent York. See you later. Oh, if you ever got any...
What else have you seen on that sci-fi movie channel?
Hey, hi, Agent York. Hi, Agent. See you later. Oh, if you ever got any skate...
Looks like a... Let's go.
Hi, Agent. Hi. See you later. Oh, if you ever got any...
Ripping a squirrel's tail off its corpse is an eye-opening experience, Zack. I don't care if God commanded us to do this, it's pure butchery. we'll just have to live with it. After all, humans are wild at heart. Zack, I never knew that following oracles was such back-breaking work. I really needed this cigarette. I think I'm on the verge of losing my mind. Now we just need to find one pressed white Gora. He was very clear that it had to be pressed. Do they sell pressed flowers in stores here? I think I'm stumped, Zack. Perhaps we better go ask our well-informed concierge for help. Okay, Zack. Let's go. It'd be impossible for us to find a white Gora.
Welcome back, Mr. Morgan, sir.
Hello there, concierge. Do you mind if I ask you a question?
How may I help you, Mr. Morgan?
I'm in need of a pressed white Gora. Do you know of a store where I could find one?
The Lord hungers?
Correct.
Jolly good, sir. In that case, please ask our bell. His hobby is pressing flowers, so I'm sure he'll be able to assist you. Mr.
No, not yet.
Very well. I'm sure he'll be able to. Very good, sir. Please, come right. Serving you is my greatest. Please do let.
That you can't get, so make sure. Thanks, mister. Next time you get a...
Got a minute?
What is it, mister?
Do you know where I might find...
Now, what did I don't flap my... If you want to know about the town, you best ask our concierge.
May I ask you a question?
Sure, boss. What's cracking?
I need to find a pressed white Gora.
You like flowers, boss?
Well, not exactly, but it's the will of God.
The Lord hungers, huh?
Excellent, David. Way to cut right to the chase. Do you know where I might find one?
Sorry, boss. We only have one white Gora bush in our garden. Yep.
What's the problem?
Well, yesterday I picked them all and pressed them, see?
That's perfect. Would you mind...
Sorry, boss. No can do.
What do you mean?
I used all the pressed flowers I made to decorate a very special spot, see?
What spot?
The bedroom on the first floor.
The bathroom.
Yes, sirree. So, I don't have a single pressed flower left now.
Well then, I'll just go and grab one from the bathroom.
I wouldn't do that if I were you, boss. Taking a pressed flower from a bathroom into church? Ah, Jesus ain't gonna like that. Sorry, but it looks like you're all out of luck, boss.
Zack. Deep South. The white Gora, also known as the whirling butterfly. They certainly look just as beautiful as one. Never thought I'd ever have to pick a flower from a bathroom and deliver it to a church. But he left us no choice. Did he, Zack? God himself commanded us to carry out this very act. Therefore, I'm simply doing as I'm told. My own will has nothing to do with it. We never get to engage in adventures like these while living in the city, do we, Zack? No, the cases of the city are honestly quite boring. Who wants to fish through the garbage for a missing corpse's genitals? Or chase a stray bullet that got lodged into a moving taxi? Talk about stupid. And usually, it's all just a formality so that we can accuse a criminal who's been obviously guilty since day one. If I have to search for something, I'd much rather search for something out here. It's just so much more dramatic. This is the countryside, and it's sensational. You know what I mean, don't you, Zack?
What? Okay, why the...
How's the investigation coming? Must be going well if you're on the case. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, get in.
Hi, Agent.
I sincerely hope this is the last of God's divine errands.
That makes two of us.
Heavenly. Truly heavenly.
He threw away all the spam, the red beans, and the spinach. I don't believe this. All this time he was only after the cans?
Shh, be quiet, Agent York. He's doing holy work. Just be quiet and watch.
What a fragrant pressed flower. Thank you for this blessing, O Lord.
Yes, Zack. as fragrant as a urinal cake.
Shh! Behold, it is finished. Our Lord is enraptured. Take this, my lambs, and let it serve you.
Just take it, Agent York. Folks say Pastor Sanders' instruments have special powers.
Special powers?
Yes, it is the truth, my lost lambs. Have faith. The Lord guides me to create the perfect instrument for each citizen of our town.
Each instrument's effects differ by person, too.
In your case, you were blessed with 3 drums and a special flower. This is the will of the Lord. You must accept it and have faith. If you ever find yourself lost again, return to me at any time.
Patty, I'm curious. Do you have an instrument too?
Huh? Me? Of course not. Why would I ever want one of those stupid things? I'm fine just watching you adults play your silly little games.
Zack, the pressed flower we took from the bathroom ended up coming straight back to us.
Have you come seeking? You did well, as pitiful as it may seem. Someone may seem very healthy. Only to I've encountered. Allow me. Take good care.
Thanks for the help. By the way, why is this town's clinic? It's hard for me to believe that 2 intricate facilities such as these would mesh well together.
Pitiful. Pitiful. Don't you find it convenient that one can come to pray and also check up on their health at the same time?
True. That's very convenient, Doctor. But is convenience the only thing that matters in our world? Being able to bowl while you eat is certainly entertaining. But this is a different matter entirely. Does the Lord know that his lost lambs are all coming here to pick up their painkillers right after service? Do the coughs and moans ever mix in with the hymns? Doesn't the smell of antiseptics or the ambulance sirens ever interrupt morning prayer?
Pitiful. The will of the Lord is far greater and far deeper than what we could ever comprehend. You see, the Lord does not possess emotions in the way we think of them, and he certainly never feels anger. Besides, churches have always been used as field hospitals since long ago. Back in the days when our people were more violent and hungry for war.
You've got a point. But we aren't in wartime right now. Aren't you worried about more peaceful problems? For example, if a patient or even one of your nurses starts making a confession during the surgery, would you stop the surgery and focus on their confession? Or would you continue the surgery and listen to the confession whenever you take a breather?
I would focus on the surgery, of course. After all, there is no need for me to listen to any confessions personally. The Lord listens to them all himself.
Then what about this? During surgery, a patient asks you to use... What if they beg you to let them die so that they can go and be with God? What would you do?
You pitiful lost lamb.
I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I'd just like to clear up all the questions that popped into my mind. Answer me, Doctor. Would you let them die, or would you...
Regardless of the case, I would never abandon any life I encounter. Not as a servant of God, nor as a human being. And I'm sure the same goes. Besides, I'm only a physician. I may bandage up wounds every now and then, but I never perform surgeries.
I see. Another perfect answer. Well then, Doctor, or should I say Pastor, whatever you are, please just allow me to ask one final question. How do you use the profits you earn from the clinic? They aren't offerings or donations. It's nothing but pure profit, yes? I'm just wondering about how you deal with this in terms of U.S. tax law.
Oh, so pitiful. Oh, Lord, please save the pitiful.
Hey, Agent York, what's next?
Fear not, Patty. Our next stop is that stylish woman's house. Her name is Helena Doman, and apparently she lives in this town.
What?
You know,
Everyone. Hey, how'd you figure out her name anyway? No one told you, right?
that's true. No one told. By pure chance, Zack and I happened. We picked it up from the ground while the pastor was busy crying. Patty, this is a prescription for a female hormone medication, which means this person is undergoing hormone treatment. Understand? It's the Oracle. This is the ticket to the goddess that we were meant to find at the White Hall. I just remembered something that Melvin said to me in the holding cell. Professor R isn't exactly a normal woman, according to him. Now it all makes sense, Patty. Lena Doman is the stylish woman we've been searching for. Professor R in the flesh.
You know, Agent York, you might actually have some talent after all.
Yes, I'll be honest with you, Patty. Both Zack and I are extremely talented. So I hope you can trust us and continue working as our assistant. The address on the prescription led us to this house.
Seems like she ain't home.
Patty, what's that?
That tree? Or the water tower?
That thing I'm pointing at. That.
Like I said, what?
That thing. Right there, Patty.
Just tell me what it is. How am I supposed to know which that you're referring to? Oh, you're goofing on me, ain't you? Professor R's never home, you know.
Patty, why do you know so much?
I don't know that much, really.
But you're the first person in town who mentioned her name to me. You also knew about San Rouge, didn't you? And when I tried to ask you more about it back then, you gave me an evasive answer. You're my assistant, aren't you? If you are, then you need to tell me everything you know about this case.
Daddy don't like Lena. He said it's stupid for a man to want to turn into a woman.
What?
And he told me I ain't supposed to talk about her. He said that if you knew someone like her was living here, Agent York, you'd start to hate this town.
That's ridiculous. Why would I ever hate this town? Because one of its inhabitants is transgender? Why in the world would that make a difference to me?
The other folks in town said the same thing as Daddy. They all know about Saint Rouge and Professor R. And about how she's waging war against the Clarksons. But they all say we ain't supposed to talk about it. So
And here I'd assumed that ignorant way of thinking died out with the 20th century. Like, I thought that everyone was cooperating with my investigation. But it turns out they were all hiding key information from me. Damn it, Zack. This just made me hate the countryside for the first time in my entire life. Oh, I'm sorry for being so loud, Patricia. But just remember this. Person's birthplace, nature, race, and physical features have no bearing on their value as a human being. We're always free, and we should respect each other just the way we are. So you shouldn't feel a need to hate Lena for no reason. No matter what the people around you say, you can't let them control you. Sometimes things like common sense and decency can end up deeply hurting other people. I sincerely hope you don't forget that. But if Lena's committed a crime, that's a different story altogether. She may be a social minority, but she's still free and capable of knowing the difference between right and wrong. Professor R. I sincerely hope she's smart enough to understand that.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Listen to the two ends and drink dry the firewater. Do this and you will see the other world.
Zack, did you hear that? It's another oracle. I assume this means we're getting closer to the truth. Well, this is good. We don't have any other big clues at the moment. What do you say we continue the skeletal gentleman's game? After I spent the 90s listening to nothing but punk rock, I fell out of touch with music. But the digital audio player I received last Christmas changed everything. Nowadays, people can walk around with thousands of songs in their pockets. You following me here, Zack? That's right. This oracle is connected to music. The two N's refer to neither periods nor a movie's credits. They refer to the last letter of the alphabet, Z. And what's a word that has two C's in it? Remember, we're in Louisiana here. The firewater is even easier. It's alcohol. Let's go to that jazz bar and have a drink while we consider our next plan of action. Don't worry, this is all part of our job. Isn't it, Zack?
Lucari Tiger to DC Eagle. Lucari Tiger to
DC.
Well, look, if the clock in this show won't be...
Yes, that certainly is a... Judging from Daniel's temperament, things are bound to get out of control. Melvin? That's...
That ain't...
I didn't ask for your personal opinion, especially if it comes from an antiquated, xenophobic way of thinking that's characteristic of rural towns.
Whoa now, Mr. York. What's going on here? I didn't...
This conversation is over, Melvin. You need to figure out what the Clarksons are planning. Call me again as soon as you know.
Huh? Fine. Whatever you say.
Also, sorry, but would you mind coming to pick up Patricia? I would never think to take an innocent girl like her into an adult watering hole.
Yeah, you're right. CLG's still too young for that.
Wait, Daddy! Agent
No, Patricia. I promised.
That's not what it meant!
Patty, but just go home. Okay, Melvin, the rest is in your...
Roger that.
Looks like a case of... Let's come back.
Agent. Okay, let me take a look at your...
Of course not.
I reckon it... I bet it'll make me...
When that happens, otherwise I'll have to come...
You trying?
Absolute. You figure your finesse. It's rare to... I now... Emma, you...
Agent York. See you later. Oh, if you ever got... Hi, Agent.
Yeah.